All right, here we are in a beautiful Pinole, California afternoon. Late in the afternoon, slight little breeze. Beautiful day. Great day to be looking at a fun car like this. Great looking 1955 Chevy BelAir two-door hardtop. This one's got a lot of trim on it, nicely done. Professional style restoration. I'm going to estimate it about a 20-year-old restoration. We're going to get back to the office and see what kind of history we can dig up, that kind of thing, if we can get some for you. Anyway, very nicely done. Finished in a jet black, or I don't know what the factory color would have been called, and we'll actually decode the data tag for you. But very nicely done. We can walk around. It's very well settled, and you'll have tons of people attracted to this car when you go to a show. The current owner likes the feel and the look like it drove out the factory door without hubcaps on it. There are hubcaps included. As we go around, we're going to cover some of the trim and the items on it. Underneath the hood here is a 265 Chevy V8 Power Glide 2-speed automatic. It's a factory V8 car. Just look at the reflections as we go around. Talking about the trim on the car, it has the gravel guards up here on the front wheel wells, the rocker moldings. Those wouldn't have been stock on a BelAir. So it has a lot of nice dress stuff on it, or the gingerbread as the owner called it. But you can tell the reflections. The fit of the panels and the hood and everything up here is very nice. As we go around, I could pick it for flaw here and there, but really there's no point because it's a beautiful car, but you're going to find a little flaw here and there is the point, because it's about a 20-year-old restoration. And if I see something big enough, I'll point it out to you. But very nicely done. The front bumperettes and bumper guards and grill guard in the front here is just beautiful. Show style or chrome type plating on the front here. You just gotta love the nose on a 55 Chevy. Double nickels really just have that special look. First year of the Tri-5 Chevys, and it's just a very desirable model. Two-door hardtop. We put the windows down for you to kind of get a good feel of the car with the windows down. Actually took two different segments to show you that the windows fit nice and the flippers go down like they're supposed to. Hardly anybody in the park here today, which makes it nice and safe. Nobody's bothering me in the middle of my video. Up here on the front fender, I was just kind of remembering, because I looked over the car real good, there's a little scratch on the front fender right about here that's been touched up. And if I didn't point it out, the average person's not going to even notice it while you're at a show. I'll try and give you kind of a feel there. Little marks here and there like we talked about, but a beautiful car. There's no car that's perfect or brand new, but this is a really great looking car. Whistle straight panels. We had it up on the lift. Rock solid original style floor pans. See how straight down the side of it is. Again, the rocker, the gravel guard and the rocker moldings at the bottom there. All the stainless is nice on it. Correct style antenna. Again, the fit here is good across the back side of the hood. See the reflections of me standing in the car there. See the BelAir. Interior red and kind of a Indian ivory style interior. It's all factory. This carpet would have been this carpet style would have been correct for 55, which was like a nomad style carpet. All the bows, top bows are nicely done. Wind's picking up a little bit. Harley going by. All the CAD plating on the door jamb here is nice. All factory dash. Again, the owner likes, we'll step back and kind of give you a feel here at a different light perspective. He likes the look of just an old, kind of a little bit of a hot rod, but almost like it drove out of the factory that kind of way without the hubcaps on it. Hubcaps are included. I know I'm repeating myself. Bumperettes on the rear here too also. It's got all the gingerbread. This license plate on the back does not go with the car. It's more his show. Take it to a show. He's had it to a couple shows, and this car will definitely get attention. All the glass is nice when we had the windows up. Again, we took photos and videos of that. Trying to walk around slowly so you kind of get a good feel. I have been on the road hot August nights. I've been on the road for several days. I might be a little bit rummy. Seems like I'm always on the road. Can't get on Spud's Garage unless I actually touch it. To give you a feel there. I know there was a little spot here I remembered on the back that had been a little chip there that's been touched up. There's also a scratch on the rear back here, or it's just a settling, but I don't even know if you can see it. Again, I'm being a little bit over picky. I just want you to know it's a beautiful car, but it's not perfect and not brand new. Nice American classic Coker style wide white radials on it. So it's got radial tires on it, so it's gonna have a good road feel. The interior is just crisp and clean. All factory style in its presentation. Back seat. '55, they were a little sparse on equipment. Factory VIN tag is here where it's supposed to be. It's a VC, which means it would have been a factory V8. We'll get you underneath the dash, see the wiring. Fuse panel there. Kind of give you a feel here. AM radio, just a heater. 2-speed power glide. The odometer reading at the time of inspection is 48,265. That's funny, the V8. Anyway, the owner believes the miles to be actual on this car. All right, we're gonna fire it up here for you. Starts right up. The fuel gauge works just fine. The temp gauge is just now warming up. We already went over the odometer reading with you. Get out and let you hear it run just a little bit, kind of give you a feel and invite you in. Definitely go to spudsgarage.com where we'll have more. Appreciate you listening to me. Just barely hear it run. Anyway, there you go. Hey, go to spudsgarage.com. Again, thanks for listening to me, and make sure you hang on to the end of the video. Have a great day. All right, let's take a look underneath the hood. Always my favorite part, and it's always fun to look at how they were built back in the day. This car is very much done that way. Concours style restoration, a slightly older restoration, but very nicely done and well preserved. As we go around here, you can study reflections on just about anything. Nicely done factory style wiring here. We'll cover underneath the what the engine is here in just a minute or so. Factory V8 style radiator in it. It is a V8. Original V8 car. You'll see all the CAD plated hardware, that type of thing. We're going to do a little research and learn a little bit more about the car from what we can when we get back to the office. We'll actually decode the data tag there and check the colors on the body and the interior. Underneath the hood here is a 265 Chevy V8. So 55, that would have been correct. And if you look at the block on the bottom side, we actually covered on the undercarriage video. These cars have their oil. In 55 they had the oil filter up front. Later years they would have an oil filter, canister style oil filter, but there's not even the way to put a canister oil filter on the bottom of one of these. So they're up top here. They're fed from the oil port on the front of the intake there, and it flows back. 2-barrel carburetor. This one has a power pack camshaft in it, so it's a nice peppy little 265 V8. Factory drum brakes, drum master cylinder here, all factory under the hood. Generator, 12 volt generator on it. Almost said 6 volt. And when you think of generators, sometimes that's all you think of is 6 volt, but no, they had 12 volt generators too. Batteries up front here, AC Delco battery. Mechanical fuel pump down there, and you can kind of see the level of detail they went through the suspension, and again we'll cover that on the undercarriage. We cover the undercarriage in great detail. Gonna give you a peek at the wiring connectors there. CAD plated hardware, the fender attaching hardware. Style is a 55 1037D, which is a BelAir 2-door hardtop, and I'll get into the trim and paint at Spud's Garage. We'll have a photo of that. Data tag there, I did take a photo of it. Power Glide automatic transmission, factory V8 rear differential, so just your basic get her done car. This is 1955, just like it came off the showroom in a sort of way. And that's the intent with a Concours car like this, is to have it all stock appearing. It's very nice. Anyway, hang on to the end of the video. We'll definitely cover some more. Thanks for listening to me. Have a great day. Been on a road all week. Talk to you soon. All right, he's gonna fire this old girl up and turn it around for us to look at the other side of it and do a photo shoot. Just a quiet. Looks like it rolled out of the factory building. All right, with these hardtops, we like to take the, when we can, we'll have all the windows up so we can kind of give you a quick feel, but during the walk around, we'll have them down. Flipper operation on that side. The fit of the windows is nice. Okay, we'll go over to the passenger side. All right, over the passenger side here, window fits nice, just like the driver's side. Glass is nice and clear. It's like a soft ray easy glass here. Open it up, show you the flipper works. Do that again because I didn't have the camera up. All right, we'll get you in the trunk here. Very nice. All the way through this car is just very nice. Factory style rubber floor mat. Underneath the mat, this is a really solid car. We spend some time up on the lift covering it with you. These appear to be factory floor pans, and we cover that. Typically down in this well is where they like to catch and hold water, and this is where you always look, but this one from the bottom has been correctly fixed. It would have a little bit down in here because there's a well. Anyway, that's where you really want to look at a 55 at, and this is nice and solid and correctly restored. All the way through, factory seams here. Finish goes all the way through the car. Put this rubber mat back down in here. Those are the license plates that belong on the car. The license plate that's on the back here is not included with the car. It's kind of a show plate kind of thing. So, or this is how the car is registered, is these plates here. Has a full-size spare and jack assembly here. Paint finish follows all the way through the deck lid here. Anyway, we think you get the idea of the trunk. All right, here's the hubcaps that are included with the 55 that we talked about on the walk around. All right, let's get to the undercarriage here. We usually do this before we do the walk around, so we got a really good feel of the car. Gonna cover the undercarriage here for you like we always do. This is a really cute little car. Beautiful rock solid floor pans. We're gonna cover what we see underneath here as we go through like we usually do. It's always nice to have a lift, body on style restoration, but very nice. I've studied the floor pans. They appear to be original in the car. Couple little fixies here or there, but a really solid car. Original quarter panel all the way top to bottom over on this side with the factory coating, which you'll typically see on BelAirs and 50, Tri-5s of this era. See the floor pans here all appear original. You can see the style here. Where the trunk well, there's a little 1-inch well. We'll show you when we do the trunk. Typically water will sit in there. They've correctly repaired this piece here, replaced that. Chassis, the frame looks great. It has air shocks on it. Here's the air port for the air shocks. So you can kind of load it up if you're going to stick some girls in the trunk. I mean in the back seat. A little fun today. Long road trip, a little bit rummy. Same thing, original quarter up at the top section. They did a lower quarter section forward of the wheelhouse here. Appears to have been correctly done, overlapped and tacked. Could have been anything, a little garage scratched down the side, and it'd have been easier to do that section. I don't see any reason it would have been rusty back there at all. As we go forward, you'll see what I mean. Get up here. Factory V8 car. So it's got a factory V8 rear differential. Again, it would be easy to do a resto mod on this kind of car by just changing the engine and transmission in it if you wanted to update a little bit. But this is a good, solid, honest, original style car. It's good looking. We'll cover that on the walk around, or we already have. Again, I do this prior to. Emergency brakes are all connected. Again, air shocks. It's got newer brake hoses upgraded on it or updated. Drum brakes, parallel leaf springs. Body structure here, body to chassis mounts are nice. So I said it was a body on style restoration. Somebody's probably done body mounts at one time in its lifetime. This muffler here is believed to be an NOS muffler, or at least that was passed on from the prior owner to this current owner. This car apparently was judged at one time. All the body and frame mounts are nice, and we'll go along the outside and we'll cover that for you. But you'll see we've got our LED light on. These braces are typically, this is really nice here. Drains, factory drain here. It's got the rubber cap on it. You can see the body mounts. These are typically rusted out, and here it's not. Really solid little car. Couple little fixies on the other side we'll cover here. There's the Power Glide automatic. Very solid 2-speed automatic transmission. He says this thing's just tight and shifts good, and I'll take it for a spin. Again, I do this before I do the walk around and we take it out and do the photo shoot and drive. Over here on the passenger side, instead of hiding it, which some guys would do, they just did this right. They cut out and replaced a piece of metal here where there's a small repair. Again, the factory drain, which shows you it's a factory. This one, it's got one panel here that's been replaced, but the floor braces are all nice. What happens is, see this little opening here, is these things will get clogged up with dirt in here, and then it holds water, and you'll see these all rusted out on BelAirs. You really want to watch for that. The body to frame mounts are important. The structure there. See the drains on the rockers. We'll go to the outside of the frame rails and cover that with you. One little stitch fix here. I always like to be able to see what they've done, and that's actually very good, in my opinion. Unless it's a rotisserie restoration, then it's a totally different story. Factory suspension, again, looks like newer wheel cylinders and hydraulic hoses, that kind of thing. Looking up in here, and it's got the radial tires. We'll cover that as we go to the outside of it, or I probably already covered it on the walk around. Bottom of the 265 V8, and you really can tell here with these, they don't have the side engine mounts. The earlier Chevys, Tri-5 Chevys, were hung across this brace here rather than a tail brace, and they're hung from the front, so they bring them together differently. But it also does not have an oil filter on it. It doesn't have one at the bottom, it's got one up top, and this is a road draft tube right there. It's a 265 block, and from what we know, this car has been judged too. We're gonna go up front and cover the front suspension here. Front suspension's all been restored. Up in the fender aprons here is nice. You see they use CAD hardware on the apron there, but the inside of the fenders is solid, appears to be. Factory coil springs, gas shocks in the front. Again, same thing, CAD hardware on the apron pan there. Up into the fenders. Anyway, this car's a cute car. Cover the outside rockers here for you. These are American Classic radial wide whites. They're about 3-inch radials, or white walls on them. CAD plated hardware. Floor braces in the rocker. See the factory drains right here. Factory spot pinch welds all the way back to here. It's pretty typical. This one may have been replaced back here. Well, they may have when they did the lower quarter extension, which would have been from that body molding down. Again, nicely done. Good solid car. Keep it at this level or take it to the next. It's easy to change the look of one of these cars too, with some mag wheels, that kind of thing. He likes the look of the just rolling out of the assembly line kind of look. There's some hubcaps on the wall here that are included. We'll give a little clip with that. You've probably already seen it. Again, drains here are good. Mounts are good. Go to spudsgarage.com. Definitely have more for you. Have a great day, and thanks for listening to me. All right, he's going to fire it up and take it back to his garage. Could be going to your garage. Make sure you go to Spud's Garage. We have plenty more for you. Have a great day.